All right, guys, we're back to multiplying this. So we add 1 3/4 times 2 3/4, and I'm showing you what they call using an area model to make it easier. So it's really the break apart or the distributive property. So 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 3/4. So on the side, we'll just do 2 over 1 times 3/4 just to show you how we got it. And I hope you're doing this on your own, which is 6/4. And I think it's easier just to quick simplify right now and say that it's, we'll leave it as that. Okay, 3 times 1 times 3/4 equals 3/4. And then we have 3/4 times, let's start again because I messed up. Sorry. We have 2 3/4 and 1 3/5. It helps if you copy the problem correctly. Sorry, guys. 2. So 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 3/5 is 6/5. Here we have 1 times 3/4, which is 3/4. And here we have 3/4 times 3/5, which is 9/20. Now we have to add these all together because that's what we have is 2 plus 6/5 plus 3/4 plus 9/20. So I can leave that in there. I'm just going to leave my whole number and add it later. So I'm going to take that out of here, and I'm going to look for a common denominator with my fractions here. And I know right away 20 is my common denominator because I know my multiples of each number. This one's going to stay the same. So 4 times what got me to 25? So 3 times 5 is 15. 5 times what got me to 24? So 6 times 4 is 24. So now I have to add all these together, and I get 20. And up here, I have 24 plus 15, which is 39. And 39 plus 9 is 48. So now I have an improper fraction, and I ask myself, how many 20s can go into 48? Well, 2, and that would be 40. So I would subtract 40 off of that, and I get 8/20. And I can still simplify that by saying I know 4 goes into 8, and I know 4 goes into 20. So I'm going to divide them both by 4, and I get 2/5. So now I have 2, the 2 I had earlier, plus 2 more, plus 2/5. And then I add that all up, and I get 4 2/5. So my answer down here is 4 2/5. A lot of steps you have to go through. It works really well. That is one way to do it, to make it easier when you're doing that. Let's see what else I have here. Using the grid. So we could do the grid, and we could draw a diagram to represent the dimensions. So we would do, each dimension would be worth a third here because third is our common denominator. So if we did that, we would have to do 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3 equals a whole plus 2 more thirds. This way we would do 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, and then 1 more third. So right here would be so how many squares covered our diameter? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 20. Each square, what's the area of each square? Well, remember we have 1/3 times 1/3, which is what? 1/9. So what is the area of the diameter? So 1/9, 20 over 1 times 1/9, and we get 20/9. How many times does 9 go into 20? 2. That's 18 2/9. So that way works. if that works for you. Another way, if you're not doing it here, you can use the model. Please use the model here. Use the model here if you like that. Use the break apart if you like that. I don't know what comes next, but I am going to also suggest you can change your mixed numbers into an improper fraction, multiply it, and then exchange them back into a mixed number. What does that look like? I just think that that's our easiest way of doing this. I always change my my mixed numbers into an improper fraction. Let's see. So I'll just show you this quick before I send you off. 1 times 3 is 3, plus 1 more is 4/3, times 2 times 2 is 4, times 1 is, or plus 1 is 5/2. Now I'm just going to multiply this across, and then I would change this back into an improper fraction. How many 6's go into 20? 3, and that's 18, and that's got 2 6 left over. I can simplify that again to 3 1/3. I think if you go the model way, you'll find the same answer as that. I just think this way is easier than doing all this. You decide. Maybe this way is easier. Maybe this makes more sense to you. Whatever way works for you, I want you to practice it and show me how you're practicing it. So you and your partner work on these two. Use the area model to figure it out there. Here, do whatever works best for you. And then I want you to skip this page and go on to your homework here. And let's do all of these. Let's do this whole page, please, just to get it down and get area and mixed number put together. 1 or 2 up at the bottom and all at the bottom. If you have any questions, come ask me what we just talked about and how to change them back and forth and which is easier for you. I'd love to hear your method.